Right, everybody ready for the second part? Let's get that burp pad quilted and completed. Let's get started. All right, I'm at the sewing machine and I'm going to prepare my machine. So you take off your regular foot, and then my machine has this foot right here. It's an open-toed foot. And this is what I'm using. This is actual embroidery thread, which is what I want to put on the top. It has a little bit of a, I don't know if you can see it, a little sheen. Let's see if we can get a little closer. It's like shiny. And it is rayon. Number 122 SS rayons. When you start your project, I'm going to just start it right here and work my way to the top. Now, on most machines, you will go ahead and drop your feed dog. All right, on my machine, you see this right here is the foot that I just put on. So on my machine, I click this, which it got dark. And then when you go up here, it shows you that that's the actual foot. It's called O. So it just dropped the feed dogs to whatever it needed to be. I don't have to do it manually on this machine. Now my other baby lock that I've used, I do need to do it. And it has also a foot for this. And this is just considered, I think it's the open-toed quilting foot. I think that's the name of it. I'm not sure. I'd have to get my book out to look. But let me show you what you do next. Now I hope you can see this. When you start, what you do is you hold on to your top thread. I take my foot, and what you're doing is you're drawing up your bobbin. So when you pull your needle all the way up and you slowly pull this string out, let me get my tweezers ready because I've got that self-cutting thread, so my thread will not be long. And so you pull, and oh, do I even see it? I don't even see mine. Wait a minute. There it is, right there. See, I can barely see mine. And then you pull on your bobbin thread, and you hold the two in your hand. And then right where you came out, go right down into that. Okay? And then you put your foot down, and your foot is not going to touch your fabric. It's going to be above it. See how I can put my, let me see. I want to show you without this moving here. Okay, this is some of that sticky paper. But see how I can go underneath that? Right there, how it's going underneath? It's touching the needle right there, but it's going underneath. That means that this is not touching the fabric. You don't want it to touch the fabric, because if it touches your fabric, then it's your presser foot is too far down on the fabric. You want it right on the just the top of it, because what you're going to do is you're going to be moving this around. So you want to make a couple of up and down spots, and all you're doing is this is how you're locking it into space. I mean, into that spot. You can go back and forth over it. Then what I do is the meandering is what it's called, and you can make it any size you want. Now, I'm not going to make it big, but I'm not going to make it small either, because I can feel everywhere that there is a seam on this diaper on the other side. So we're going to start, and this thread actually is multicolored if you noticed, so it should change colors as I go around. And I'll go around, and what you're doing is, in my case, I don't overlap, but you can overlap your stitches if you'd like. And you're the one controlling your stitches and the size. And there it got lighter and you could barely see it. And now it's going to get darker. Now's where I'll cut this off. And what you do is you're practicing trying to keep the with the same size. It's all about practice, so don't panic if you get it too big or you get it too small. When you come up to a needle, take it out. And since you can actually move this around, I don't have my container, so just lay that right there. And this feels fine. I always like to be able to see the thread coming to me. I feel like I have more control over it. And here's my edge right here. If you get off the edge, that's fine. You'll come right back up on it when you get done. Now I'm coming up to the spot that I started, excuse me, and all I'm going to do is come right up to it and then just keep on going. So it'll look like it was a continuous spot, although it did change colors, but the threads did meet. Of course, if you want it to be the exact same color, you could have gone around it, and then once that color changed, you could have went ahead and went to it in that color. Now, if I had known the baby's name, I would have went ahead and embroidered the baby's name on here, but I don't believe they've named their baby yet. They haven't picked out a name anyway. I think they're waiting until after the baby's born. They are, however, having a girl. I should say, if science is correct, they're having a girl. Because sometimes that can even fool you. I think I want to go over the top of this ribbon. So I'll just go along the edge of it here. And I'm not going to go over the bird either. So we'll go around that. I lucked out. The light color came right about the time that the feet were. That is really funny. How about that? way to get across that is what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and lock my stitches here. And I'm coming off this part right here is what's not going to be in. It won't be in this burp pad because I'm going to put a backing on here so that the back has a real nice soft, and I'll show you how to do it. We've done it before. So all I'm going to do is just go over the thread right here. Okay. And then come on back over here. Oops. If you were doing this and you went over your ribbon, that's okay. You go over it once, just go over it again in another place so it'll look like that's what you want to do all along. You know, the plans never turn out the way you want all the time, so you just change it up. I had to when I cut this out because, see, this was too short. I had to add fabric to it. And then, of course, the baby blanket, since this wasn't wide enough, I had to change that. Had to come up with an idea to figure out how to come up with more fabric because I didn't have this fabric. And I didn't have anything that would match this fabric. And I really didn't just want to put a plain white. If you can see it, you can see some of the stitching. Let me back the camera up a little bit here. Isn't that pretty? And I put a little bitty little heart right there. So now I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. Tension again. As you can tell, it's way off. And now I got a baby blanket right next to it that I made, and this is when the tension is correct. This fabric is flannel. And see, it's really, really nice. And here's the, let's see if I can, there you go. There's the, see, I made this baby blanket for my granddaughter. And I did all that kind of meandering right here. All in the pink right here, which is cotton, just like this was. And then the back has got the flannel on it. See? And when the tension is correct, it really looks nice. But for some reason on this I don't even know what this, I don't know what the diapers are made out of anymore. I have no clue what this fabric is. It's a woven something or another. It's like 3 pieces. They took 3 pieces and folded it over on itself, but I'm not quite sure because looking at it up close, you could do counted cross stitch on that stuff. For all those that know what counted cross stitch is. Alright, so now I'm going to show you what I'm going to be putting on the back of this. I thought that I would use this cute little pink polka dot. It's white with pink polka dots. So I'm going to iron it and then I'm going to cut it to size. Alright, lay it out here on the table. And of course, you can tell that the diaper's not perfectly straight, so what I'm doing is I'm going to go off the edge a little bit. I'm just eyeballing it. Because I can always cut it down some more. And I've got my blanket. I laid the fabric down underneath it. And just come across here. On the top. Whoops. I just moved the whole thing, but that's okay. Line it up. Doesn't need to be perfect. Still underneath there. And just cut straight across here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is take this without the fabric now, because I cut that a little bit bigger, and just take a little bit more off because I need to sew it. I don't want too much of that glue hanging or it won't be correct when you go to flipping it, because we're going to sew these right sides together and then turn it, and I'll show you. So I'm just kind of, I guess I could have fixed the diaper at the very beginning, but I didn't, so that's pretty good. It's way off down here, but I think that's still fine. So what you do is lay it down right sides together. We're going to sew a seam on it all the way around it, and we're leaving an opening. Remember, we did this for the mug rugs. So just line up your fabric. It'll fit over the whole entire thing. Okay. I'll take it over to the sewing machine. After I tossed that baby blanket aside, I got to thinking, if I'd been watching the video, I probably would have wanted to see the whole thing myself. So I thought I'd just give you a real quick glimpse. It is a 9 patch. That's what this is considered a 9 patch. And it's 1, 2, 3. And these are 2.5 inch squares. And it's just 2 colors. And then I put a border in white, and then another border a little bit bigger in pink, and then I took the blue fabric. Of course, I used the pink here for that, and then this blue fabric for the trim. Okay, it's not very big, but it's for a doll, and she got a lot of use out of it. It's been washed a bunch of times, and it is cotton on the front and flannel on the back. And so I did the quilting on my machine there. I did quilting around the little squares and then straight down. Okay, that's it. Let's go over to the sewing machine. Okay, I'm back to using white thread. back to my regular foot. This is going to be the end that has my opening in it. And I'm going to stitch this 5/8 inch, and on my plate here is the 5/8 inch, and that's what I'm going to follow with my fabric. This way I make sure that I've caught everything that's in there. Okay. And we're going to lock it in place here because we're going to have tension on it from turning it. Now this will have a little bit of give, which is fine. I'll just adjust for it. It's got a different kind of nap than cotton does. So what I'll do is I'll come up from the bottom. Or maybe not. I'll wait to see when I get to the top of here. And what I should have done is I should have put the flannel on the bottom because of the nap makes it like stretch, and so your bottom, the teeth down here, would have grabbed that fabric and made a difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it backwards. So when you do it, by all means, you do it with the flannel. I won't need to do that because I can pretty well guess where my 5/8 inch is. So, even though I don't have a mark on my plate. I can always go in another, seeing if I have to. It's going to kind of be ad-libbing here based on the what I'm looking at here. It's okay. Good. Alrighty, so let me go over here and we're going to trim it off. We're going to trim it down. And then we're going to flip it, and then we're going to put a top stitch on it. So what I do is I can see my seam, and I take the ruler. Let me show you here. Here's the seam. I take my ruler, and this color right here, that's a 1/4 inch. I put that on the seam. Now I got another light in my face here. Let's see here. Okay, now you can see the seam. I move the ruler to the right a little bit. The seam's on the left. So I put it right on top of there, and then I trim. That leaves a 1/4 inch. And that's what I'm going to do here. Let me scoot that up a little bit. There we go. Like I said, I'm going to put it on the 4th inch. And just take it. And slowly go up. And keep it on that 4th inch. All the way up till it's off. Alright. Turn it. And do the same thing. Oh, wait a minute. We're not going to do it on this side. This is the side we're flipping. All we're doing on this side is cutting off the corner. That's it. Because this is our opening right here to turn it. And I put the opening away from that, the bird, so it wouldn't have stress. I didn't want to be down there by that applique. I didn't want to mess that up. And once you get involved in applique and start doing that and find out how time consuming it is and everything, you wouldn't want to do it either, believe me. It is very, very time consuming. Okay. Now you take your pad, burp pad, we're going to turn it inside out. Tool to do that. My thumbs and my fingers are too big. Let me go get a tool. The famous chopstick. Okay. Let's see if I can. Might have to get something else, but let's just try first. Oh. No, that's not a good thing. I guess I need a different tool. Okay, so I brought some other tools out here. Turned it inside out so I could take a look at it and see how bad did I make that corner. Let's see. Booger is just stuck. I guess I'm going to have to, I don't know if the corner needs to be, let's try this corner over here. Maybe I need to take more off the corner. I guess I do. Or maybe I need to round the corners instead of squaring them. Maybe that's a good idea. Let's do that. Okay, that sounds like a really good plan. I kind of like that plan. So I'm going to take it back over there to the sewing machine, and I'm going to make them round instead of squared off. Okay. All right, let's go over there. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this empty bobbin. Can you see it there? And I'm going to take my friction pin and I'm going to come to the corner and I'm just going to round it. I'll show you here as soon as I mark it. Can you see that mark? There you go. I'm just going to do the other side too. Just put it up here and go up the seam, around and down the seam. There's the seam right here. See if I show you the seam. There's the seam. And I rounded it, so do all the corners. You could probably just go ahead and guess it. You probably don't have to do it with a bobbin, but that's one way to do it. Called ad-libbing. Just change your plans. Alright, let's get the thread out here and we'll just go around it. I put the flannel side down so it'll take up that. Okay, we'll just go around. Let's see, can you even see here? Just going right around the corner here. I feel like I need a curved. There we go, like that. And of course, you gotta lock it in place. Otherwise, it'll come out. So, and I just pull it around the corner here. There we go. Yep. Yep. Just kind of turn it as we go here. There you go. Let's look at the other side and make sure it turns. That one did. That one did. That one did. And that one did. Okay, so that's it for that. Take it back and turn it around. Okay, so now take a little bit more off each corner, and then there won't be so much bulk on the inside when I go to turn it, hopefully. We shall see. We shall see. All right. Here we try it again. Okay. Oh yeah. See that? That worked with my finger. A lot better. Okay. Circles. Corners it will be, instead of square, it'll be rounded corners. Because I've got to make another one for another baby. This is just the first baby. There we go. Now, let me smooth this down so that the pink is on the other side, because you don't want to see it on the blue side. I think I saw a little trick on a program where she smoothed it down and then rolled it over. She said they have a tendency to want to roll over until you do that because of the seam. Okay. So I'm going to take it over to the ironing board and iron that. Let's move this stuff out of the way here. So I will take it over there, we'll iron it up, and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so I've changed my needle. There we go. So that is a Microtech. 14 is the size. On needles, the bigger the size, the number, the bigger the needle. And in this case, this one's used for top stitching, and it's got a nice sharp point. I've got my clips. And I'm going to top stitch around this. And we're going to start right here. And I'm going to lock it in place. I actually only went back one time because I'm going to come over the top of the stitch when I'm done. And I use the clips on this instead of the pins. My corners. Let's see if I can do that. Yep, I can do that. I did iron this to have it lay down before I sewed it. I think it makes it easier. Let's see if I can get around this corner here. There we go. And since that blue thread on the top, that embroidery thread, went in and out with its colors, this white looks just fine on here. So let's take a look at it. There you go. And there's the top stitching. Looks really nice. Sure hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And I think that baby and the mama's baby is going to be really happy with this. I'm going to flip it over so you can look at the back of it. It's just all polka dots. Isn't that pretty? There you go. And actually, if you didn't want to use it for a burp pad, I guess you could use it for a little changing pad. I hope you like this video. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.